wall from the Philippines. And do we have any media friends who want to ask questions? All you have to do is come up near here. We have our mic here in front. Just state your name, your publication, and then your question. Go ahead. To our media friends, don't be shy. Yes, we have one already. Go ahead.
Hello, candidate number one. My question is, what Filipino and Chinese values and traditions do you treasure most?
Chinese and Filipino values that I treasure the most. I believe it would be my close bonds with family and friends. Since I was young, I was taught filial piety, always show respect to my parents and my grandparents. And as I grew up, and as we grow and meet other friends, we realize that this values that we are taught since young extends not just within our families, but to our close friends or people that we find loyal to. So yeah, these are some things I really treasure.
Thank you.
Thank you for that question. Yes, we can accommodate one more question from our media guests. But of course, you know what, Francis, I want to get to know you more as well. I know you're an architect, is that right? So was being an architect like a childhood dream, and was it something that you really pursued from the beginning, from the get-go?
Honestly, so I think it's a mix of that. My father is an architect, so growing up, I was exposed to his occupation. He brings me along to his job site, and at home, I see him design the Paris building. So I'm pretty sure that impacted my influence in choosing my career.
All right, thank you so much to candidate one, Francis Ngo. We look forward to all of the buildings that you will build in the future. And now our candidate number two, Aragon Lore, also representing the Philippines. Our floor is open for questions from our media. We have someone coming up here. Hi, good afternoon.
Hello, good afternoon. My name is Nolly for OPM World. Hi, your name is?
Aragon Lore.
Okay, my question is, how will you describe yourself as a modern Chinoy who's still practicing and preserving the culture and tradition of you?
Sorry, can you?
Okay, how will you describe yourself as a modern Chinoy who's still practicing and preserving the culture and tradition of you?
I could say that I still practice and show my culture towards by celebrating other events such as the Chinese New Year, Botong Chu, Mooncake Festival with friends and family.
Thank you very much.
And you know what, ladies and gentlemen, Aragon is actually the youngest candidate here. At what age, if I may ask?
19.
19. Do you think there are advantages of being the youngest?
It may be an advantage and at the same time a disadvantage. Because an advantage for me is because I could learn from other areas that I have behind me. And a disadvantage because it's my first time.
But of course, age is not a factor. We look forward to what you will showcase here in the first ever Mr. and Miss Chinatown Global. A big round of applause to candidate number 2, Aragon Law. And now, all the way from Singapore, let's all welcome candidate number 3, Aravinda Rao.
Good evening, everyone.
What aspects of Chinese culture and heritage, what aspect of Chinese culture and heritage do you most look forward to showcasing in the international stage?
There's a lot of parts of my Chinese heritage that I can showcase. So I can speak Mandarin pretty fluently. 大家好. There's a lot of other things, like growing up, just playing mahjong. That's not something I would showcase on the local stage. But I can sing Chinese songs.
And just generally, I feel like, especially with my look, I'm of half Indian, half Chinese. And it's a lot of people wouldn't realize that I can actually do half of the things that I can do or understand them when they speak Mandarin. So that's something I would like to showcase.
And another question, how do you balance staying true to your roots while embracing the international spotlight?
I'm sorry, I didn't quite catch that.
Yes. How do you balance staying true to your roots while embracing the international spotlight?
Right, staying true to my
To the
roots,
roots.
ROT. Okay. Thank you for that question. How do I balance staying true to my roots? I mean, I have a lot of good people to ground me back at home as well. So I've got my family, my very wonderful parents who supported me to come to this pageant. I also have a lot of very good friends. You know, that no matter what I want to do, or if I were to ever become super famous or successful, they will definitely keep me grounded, and they will definitely, you know, be there for me, even when things don't quite go right. At the end of the day, we're all human after all. Thank you.
Thank you so much. A big round of applause to candidate number 3, Aravinda Rao, all the way from Singapore. Thank you. Another questions of our media guests from Winners Night now. Those are thought-provoking questions. I love that. Keep them coming. Let's now welcome candidate number 4, Kirby Chen from the Philippines. Yes, I see we have a question. Do we have a question from our media guests? Please do raise your hand. And of course, our candidates will be graciously answer your question. Go ahead.
Good afternoon, this is Jay from Chinatown. Hi Kirby,
Hello.
how are you today?
Pretty good.
That's already the first question. Just kidding. Just kidding. You have one question.
Second question. So now that we are celebrating the Chinese New Year, what's your message to all the Chinese Filipino community as well as the Chinese?
I think my message is just enjoy the Chinese New Year. I think based on my experience and everybody, including Pinoy and Chinese, we can all share all of the things that we know to the Filipinos who haven't really celebrated it. And I think having the welcome of the parties and the food, I think that's enough to celebrate the people, and just respecting one's traditions, I think that's pretty good enough.
Follow-up question. Hard question.
Go ahead.
Okay, your question is, what has been the most difficult piece of criticism you've ever received, and how did it affect your current identity?
I can answer that. I think it was when I was a kid, I used to get bullied a lot when I was about my weight, and that really encouraged me to live a better life, and now I want to be a bodybuilder someday.
Thank you so much, Cheche.
Thank you for your questions. Thank you to candidate number 4, Kirby Chen. And let's welcome candidate number 5, Byron Singh from Malaysia. And to our media guests, yes, go ahead.
Hi Byron, my name is Jojo from the pageantry platform. My question is, what's your favorite Chinese tradition and why?
What is my...
Favorite Chinese tradition?
Thank you so much for the question. It will have to be Chinese New Year, of course, because it's the only time that my families and friends, relatives from all over the world come together to celebrate this celebration and festival. And it brings our family bond and connection together. Thank you.
Thank you.
Thank you for that question. And Byron, we heard that you had a very successful weight loss journey. Can you tell us more about it and what motivated you?
To be honest, I might say I didn't lose a lot, maybe around 10-15 kilograms. But to be honest, I believe everybody in this world will have their imperfections and insecurities. but I will focus more about improving the things that we are capable of rather than focusing on the imperfections that we have on ourselves. Thank you.
Thank you so much, Byron Singh, candidate number 5. That's a great advice as we start the new year. Thank you so much. And next, candidate number 6, Tuan Shixing from China, Zhongguo. And to help us translate, we have Miss Shirley Chu. We will have Miss Shirley Chu who will serve as our translator. Any questions from our media guests? Okay, while we're waiting for questions, I have a question for Tuan Shixing. Because he won a modeling competition in China, so how will he apply this experience to MMCG?
你在中国的时候呢，得过模特大赛的冠军。那你在那次的经验学到很多，你要怎么利用那些经验，在这次的环球华裔先生小姐大赛？
通过那次比赛，让我累积到了一些比赛的经验，还有一些自信。通过那次比赛也会让我更加的提升自己，使自己变得越来越优秀。然后在那次比赛之中学到了自信啊，还有就是时刻保持着状态之类的，都可以运用到这次的比赛。我觉得对我也会有很大的帮助。
During the competition, it actually improved my self-confidence. I had a lot of experiences. I learned a lot during the competition, and I think the self-confidence, self-growth, I can use that so that during this Mr. and Miss Chinatown global competition.
All right, we have a question from our media guest.
Hi, I'm Charlie Pagulong from Philippine Star. So my question is, what is one Chinese trait or values that you are most proud of and you think will help you win the competition?
在你看来呢，有什么中国华人的一个道德观念呢，是你感觉最骄傲的？那你在这次比赛呢，要怎么利用它？
就是相互尊重，己所不欲，勿施于人。
I think respect for others is one of those, and another one will be something that you don't want others to do unto you, don't do it to others also.
Thank you so much to Tuan Shixing, candidate number 6. Thank you as well to Ms. Shirley. And next we have candidate number 7, all the way from Malaysia, Ethan Han.
Salamat siang, Mr. Malaysia. So my question is, what Chinese Malaysian tradition, culture, or food would you want to share to everyone during competition?
So, being Malaysian Chinese, I have grew up with both Indian and my Malay friends. And being a Chinese in Malaysia means our culture mixes constantly with theirs. So the best one that I can say would definitely be rou cha or bak kut teh. And it actually was birthed in a poor climate in Malaysia, and it's one of my favorite meals in the world. It's basically just this broth that's so hearty and it's so warm, and you share it with your family at night after a long day at work. And that, I think, promotes all sense of what Chinese culture means, which is togetherness, family, and to be loved.
Thank you. And Ethan, what drink will you give the person who will win the crown? Whether it's you or someone else, any special drink?
So, for those who don't know, I actually was a bartender for a little bit, and I'm not trying to promote any alcohol drinking habits, but I do love me a good gin and tonic, so definitely that.
All right, cheers to that. Thank you so much. A big round of applause to candidate number 7, Ethan Tan. know you are in business.
Yes.
Is that right?
Yes, that's correct.
What is the biggest misconception about being a young Chinese Filipino entrepreneur?
I think the biggest misconception about being a young Chinese entrepreneur is that people think that we're a bit entitled because when you have a business, then the parents always say, and they expect you to basically follow them in the business. But what makes it different is my parents have always been so supportive about what I want, and they've always learned to accept the things that I do. And so this influenced me to actually enjoy doing the business with them instead of just feeling forced about it. So, yeah, thank you.
All right. We can accommodate one more question for Jarek. Yes, I think we have one question from our media guest. All right, Jarek, I'll be the one to ask it. So, the past few days you've been spending time with some of your co-candidates, some from different parts of the world. How was the relationship with them? How did you tell them about the Philippines?
The past relationship I had with other candidates was actually really good. There's a lot of things that I told about the Philippines, especially like the food. Like there's a lot of very famous Filipino food as we know. In my province, there's this specialty dish in Cebu, which is lechon. So I always advertise like whenever, since I'm from Cebu, that you should go to Cebu because there's a good lechon, and then you should also check out the beaches there because the tourist market there is growing very rapidly. Yeah.
That is right. Cebu is one of my favorite places in the country as well. Thank you so much, candidate number 8, Jerry Mendoza.
Thank you.
Next we have candidate number 9, Rafael Manila from the Philippines. If we have questions from our media guests, and while we're waiting for some of our media guests to ask their questions, to you, Rafael, how does it feel to represent the Philippines against 3 other male candidates?
It feels great. It feels great knowing that these 3 candidates come from a background of modeling, with their experience and all that. Me being first time here, it gives me joy that I get to compete with people in this level, and I hope that I can win this pageant.
Yes, we hope so. And do we have other questions from our media guests? Well, if not, I will ask the next question for you, Rafael. What do you think is the trait that will make you bring home the crown?
I think the trait that will bring home the crown is discipline. From sleeping early because we have to get up early the next day and sticking strict to my diet, I think that helps me bring home the crown.
All right, I love a good sleeper. Thank you so much, candidate 9, Rafael Bandila. And our final male candidate for the first ever Mr. and Miss Chinatown Global, a big round of applause to candidate 10, Joseph Warren, all the way from Australia.
Hello everyone.
Yes, media guests, don't be shy. Feel free to come near our mic. Yes, go ahead, ma'am.
Hi, I'm Jasmine of Philstar Live. So I have a question. Has there come a time where you had an identity crisis, and how did you fully accept yourself with all your?
Can you just repeat that again?
Like, was there a time where you struggled with your identity, like identity crisis, because you had a lot of mixed mind? So, how did you come up, or where were you able to fully accept who you are, and what did you do?
That's a great question. So that is a big reason why I joined this pageant, was because I'm so mixed race. The Ratuman Fijian side is so strong back at home in Australia. So that kind of trumps every other culture that I have within me. But growing up around, I never used to acknowledge my Chinese heritage until I was about 16, 17 years old. Just because back home, in those younger years, when you say that you're Chinese, or people find out that you're Chinese, there's a whole lot of things: bullying, snark comments, and it just got to a point where I didn't feel comfortable when I was that age to express my Chinese self. But when I got older, I just had to, fully accept it for who I am, because I was so proud to be Fijian, and I wanted to be so proud to be Chinese, and it just wasn't there because of the experiences I experienced when I was younger. So that was definitely a pivotal point in my identity reclamation.
Thank you so much for sharing that with us, Joseph. And you know what, aside from being a plumber, I heard that you're also a dancer. Can you name one dance that you truly enjoy the most?
So when I say dancing, I mean a cultural Fijian dancing. So back home, me and my brothers and my cousins, we dance for special occasions, we get hired for events, for private events and weddings and stuff. So it's a bit of a, if I was to describe it, for the females, it's kind of like a hula, but a little bit more slow and graceful. And then for the men, it's kind of like a haka, but a bit more faster and not as intimidating. If you'd like, I'd like to teach you how to dance if you want.
Me? Yep.
Happy New Year! Paramdam.